how to do an effective joint venture in property investing. I'm Nicholas Warwick, CEO of Redbrick and propertyforum.com, and today I'm here to discuss JVs with my colleagues John Howard and Tony Gimple.
Good to see you here.
Thanks for coming, guys, really appreciate it. We're on one of my mentee client sites down here in Hampshire, and just giving the guys a little tour around.
Slightly further than you told me.
Yeah, sorry, I've dragged them from four corners of the country to get down here. And we've got, what, 15 minutes of your time, John, so we better make this snappy.
Time is money. Absolutely.
So JVs, we've all done the odd JV in our time, varying different levels of relationship with the client.
Sure.
I want to understand, the implications from a tax and contractual point of view, and I want to hear some of your advice, John, in terms of, JVs you've done, how those have been structured. So, start with you, John. What's the most wacky JV you've done? What's the most creative thing you've ever done in your time?
Well, rather than creative, I think if you get too creative, you can get into trouble. If it doesn't work naturally, if the deal doesn't work naturally, I always say if the deal's good enough, it can be funded. Someone will fund it somewhere for you.
Yeah.
If it's not good enough, they won't. And I launched my joint venture fund last year, and we look to invest in other people's deals. So I'm looking to put in the junior debt, the bank put in the senior debt, and all the bill costs. So someone can joint venture with me putting the deposit in for virtually no money whatsoever, and share the profit 50-50. But, of course, what's the most important thing, Nicholas?
The operator of the site and their experience, and the site itself.
Yeah, I would say the profit. That's what I'm interested in. We're all interested in money. People say, I want it to look great. Yeah, that's very nice. But you know what? At the end of the day, if it doesn't put meat and potatoes on the table, as I say, what is the point?
And Tony's a hungry man.
Tony's very hungry, and you don't want to upset him when it comes to figures.
If he doesn't eat food, he gets incredibly grumpy.
I do. I get incredibly grumpy. I have a joke on this moment. Yeah.
We do know. We have had the odd dinner with you over the years.
And at Property Summits, which we are all a part of, propertysummits.com for those that are interested in, coming to some really interesting seminars and speaking events with us and learn some really interesting property insights. Yeah. There's always a good lunch, Tony, and you always insist upon that, don't you?
Yeah. And in this case, it really is not a free lunch.
No.
Because we have to pay to be there in the first place.
Yeah, we have to cover our costs, but it's a good day out, isn't it?
So, JVs.
Yeah.
The real key, apart from making a profit, is to know who you're getting into bed with.
Very much so.
Because you are hostage to their fortunes. Is it about the tax? Is it about the structure? Up to a point. It really is about what happens if it goes wrong, who your buyer is going to be, can you get out even if market conditions change. And bear in mind, when you're going into business with someone, what's going to happen if they fall off your perch? Sorry, if they fall off their perch.
Well, can I just jump in there, Tony? Because with our joint ventures, obviously I'm there to help them, to see them through it. We have a full-time surveyor and all the rest of it. So if anything's going wrong during the process, we'll know first. We've got stepping rights, and we can help and sort it out. So that's really important. The one thing I describe the joint ventures we do is that it's like owning a restaurant, and we know lots of wealthy people who have bought a restaurant but can't cook. But we own the restaurant and I can cook. So if the chef walks out, or if there's a problem, I can step in and do the cooking. Not at home, but in terms of a property deal, I can do that. Yeah. So that's really that's quite
Sunday lunch.
We could be. So that's very unique in as much that as for a joint venture partner to be able to step in and sort it all out if there's a problem, that should give the joint venture partner confidence in us, and also give the bank confidence, which is more important, which could mean that the interest rate is lower than it would be if they went on their own and tried to do the deal.
That's a really good point. So the senior debt is more cost effective as well.
For sure,
it's not just
absolutely.
Checking the junior debt. And junior debt, we mean deposits.
The deposit that they would normally have to find themselves, we find for them. It's our money.
Yeah. Okay. And what about the sort of tax implications of a joint venture, Tony? How is that treated? I mean, obviously it will be case by case, but
it will be case by case.
Give us some tips.
So in the sorts of projects that we're looking at, then almost certainly you're going to be using a limited company structure. It may be layered. Excuse me. There'll be VAT elements. Obviously, part of that, you've got to look at whether you'll be taking dividends, whether there's going to be actual profits, or whether it is generally going to be losses, which sometimes can be carried forward. The key, again, is to make sure You've got the right advice at the beginning, working with that power team.
Tony, you're absolutely right. To start the process off professionally and properly, set a new company up with our joint venture structure. Whoever we joint venture with owns the shares in the property 100%. We invest our money into their company. Later we take a second charge on personal guarantee to protect ourselves, but it's their business, their company, and that makes it much simpler than having partners and shares and share agreements. Tony, I'd love to tell you about share agreements, do I? Shareholders agreements.
Because
Shareholder agreements can be.
Oh, nightmares.
It's charging, by the second or by the word. There's a term called fee justification.
Allegedly.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
And there's one point you touched on, and that's personal guarantees.
Yes.
Yeah.
People forget what PG really means.
We used to be able to get away with less personal guarantees, but since the tightening, since the credit crunch, PGs are, everyone has a PG now. You can't get away from business.
Let me tell you, I mean, we've got a fair amount of borrowings over the years, you can imagine, and in 2008 I was very proud that we had no personal guarantees whatsoever, at all. By the end of 2009 we had plenty of personal guarantees, and the bank said, look John, we need a personal guarantee, otherwise we'll take the loan off you. So, well, have a personal guarantee then.
Yeah.
So everyone has to sign personal guarantees. And now I still have to sign them. I don't like signing them, but we all have to. Yeah. And I'm sure you do, Nicholas, and everyone we know does. So personal guarantees, it's all about having skin in the game. And from our point of view, it's all about, because they're putting such little money in, all they're really putting into one of our joint ventures is purely the stamp duty. That's all they're putting in. So we need to know that they're not going to walk away.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's really what it's all about.
Definitely. And both parties, need to want to work together in the first place. And the importance of business, property is a people business, isn't it?
Total. And Tony made a really good point when he said it's all about the people. Yeah. And actually, if you don't like the person, then don't do business. It doesn't matter how good the deal is, because if you're starting your friction from day one, it's only going to go the one way. It's like having a date. First date. If you don't get on well in the first date, what the hell are you going to have a second one for? Yeah. You're not, are you? Or you shouldn't do.
Interesting.
It's only going to go downhill from the first date, isn't it?
I've had plenty of bad first dates.
We'll tell Mrs. Ball that, shall we?
Thankfully, I have a loving wife for many years.
Of course you do.
10-year marriage this month.
The same as our future king. Can't be bad.
Perfect. Interestingly, how do you analyse the track record of people you're going to work with? Do they need a track record? Or do you, with your experience, you're happy to bridge the gap if they're not that experienced?
Do you know what? The easiest or the simplest deals we've done so far with joint venture partners are people who it's their first development. Okay. Because it's almost simple. It's simpler because if someone already owns the property, wants to be us to put money in to refinance it, it all becomes a bit complicated. The simplest ones are the best, and they are someone who is aspirational, who's found a good deal, and comes to us to help us fund it and to get advice from us at the same time. And for us, they are the perfect joint venture partner. Definitely.
Okay.
And you know straight away. I mean, it is chemistry. The minute you look at the shape like that.
Well, it's like when the three of us. It's like when the three of us left, isn't it? We all felt the same way.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So little hearts in our eyes.
Yeah, we were, and the same with Paul and Richard, who were part of the team as well.
Absolutely.
Good fun. Yeah.
Good fun. So if you want to hear more from us three and our colleagues as well on Property Summits, log on to propertysummits.com. Hopefully we'll see you at an event very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video on JV, some tips and tricks from my colleagues here. If you do like this video and want to see more, please subscribe, click the bell icon to be notified of new videos, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching.